Welcome back everybody. This time we're heading up towards Arbroath. The spot I fished was about 5 miles north of the main town. I parked at Auchmiffy and the spot that I was hoping to fish was about a 2 mile walk, but it turns out it was impossible to get to that spot, so I had to walk a little bit further along the coast. I've never been up in this area before and it was really beautiful, so it was okay having to do a bit extra walking. I got to see some more of the place. This is the place that I was hoping to fish, but it was impossible to get down to. It was that ledge there that I was hoping to get to, and it did look possible on Google Maps, but you never really know what to expect when you actually get here. This was another possibility, and I probably could have got down to this spot, but by the time I got to the next corner, I seen this area in the distance that looked a lot easier to get to, so we headed along there. We had walked quite a distance now, so I was excited to get down and start fishing. I was really hoping to catch some cod, and maybe some wrasse as well, but I had my lure rod with me as well to maybe target some pollock, and I had a wee rod with me that was planning on doing some float fishing, but the wind never really died down enough to try that. On my big rod, I was fishing a one up, one down with a sliding lead, and I had a big bunch of worms on the bottom and a couple of prawns on the top. And I was just casting this out as far as I could. I didn't have signal on my phone to check navionics for this spot, so I was really just hoping for the best. On my other rod, I had my usual setup for wrasse, which is usually a ragworm about 2 or 3 feet above a weight, but I wasn't able to get any ragworm this week, so I was using lugworm, and I was just gently lobbing this out, maybe 20 or 30 yards. It was a really beautiful spot, but I wasn't the only fisherman here. I noticed there was a seal here, and I had seen him catching and eating a fish, so it was a good sign and a bad sign. There was a seal about, but I knew there was some fish about as well. It didn't take too long before we got the first fish. Unfortunately, it wasn't the big wrasse I was hoping for on this rod. That's the smallest cod I've ever seen. Well, we beat the blank anyway. It didn't take long before we got another one as well. Unfortunately, it was another little tiddler. This one took a piece of prawn. Absolutely stunning wee fish, and it's good to see some cod for the future, but it would have been nice to get a big one. The surprise catch later on more than made up for it for me though. Whenever I was trying to lure fish, the seal was coming up and sitting right in front of me. I think the jigging about with the rod and winding in, he was expecting me to be bringing fish in. So I didn't really want to have him hanging about, so I stopped lure fishing and just concentrated on the baits. and I couldn't believe what I caught next. Well, I really should have, because it's actually the third time that this has happened to me. And lobsters are such a cool animal, it's always a great surprise to catch one. I was absolutely buzzing.
Ho ho! He's done it again!
I had got the 2 wee cod right at the start, but nothing in the next couple of hours.
Made my day. It's been really tough fishing, but oh, that's a great surprise.
It was probably about legal size, but I didn't have a tape with me today, and the claws weren't that big.
The claws are pretty small. Decent amount of meat in it probably, but we'll let it go. What do you think of that, lad? Look at that! Get him back in down here. Crawling away over there. Now that was a good surprise.
We shared a couple of wee pies to celebrate, and then got back to fishing. I had another wee go with the lure rod, because the seal had moved round, because there was another guy fishing with feathers for mackerel off the other side of this point. He was pulling out fish fairly regularly, so I gave it a little bit longer with the bait rods round here, and then just packed up and headed round to the other side of the point, because I did quite fancy a mackerel to take home, and I didn't have to wait long at all. I'm going to come back up here in a few weeks hopefully, and I might try fishing off this side of the point and hopefully get a few bigger fish on the baits. Hit there. Fish on.
First cast. There we go. Perfect size for a wee fish wrap.
We had a really long walk back to the car, so I cleaned the fish and then packed up. It would have been nice to stay and catch some more mackerel, but I had probably stayed longer than I should have, and I didn't get home till about midnight, so it was probably just as well I left when I did.
I've got to go to where that third point is. Away to that wee village. Miles and miles. It's worth it though, it was a really good day.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.